expectation can be a crushing burden, especially for a young heart still finding its rhythm. For Obi-Wan Kenobi, even at the precipice of knighthood, the gilded halls of the Jedi Temple sometimes felt less like a sanctuary and more like a cage, its rigid structure suffocating a spirit yearning for something undefined. He felt a quiet dissonance, a sense of being perpetually out of step, an echoing uncertainty that whispered, "Am I truly meant for this?" Then, a faint tremor on the cosmic winds, a distress call, or so he perceived it, a fleeting, almost imperceptible plea from a distant Jedi. It was a lifeline, a reason, a justification. He told himself he was answering a call to duty, but deep down, it was a desperate leap into the unknown, an escape from the suffocating confines of the familiar. He needed to prove himself, not to the council, but to the swirling doubts within his own mind. He needed to find his place, or perhaps to find himself. So he left, not with a grand declaration, but with a quiet, almost desperate resolve, charting a course for the coordinates the Force had whispered to him. He expected a desolate world, perhaps a besieged outpost, a familiar struggle against an external foe. What he found instead was utterly, breathtakingly alien. His ship broke through the atmosphere to reveal not the ordered sprawl of a civilized world, nor the scars of conflict, but a riot of life. A planet teeming with colossal bioluminescent flora that pulsed with an inner light, and strange, vibrant fauna that moved with an untamed grace. The very air vibrated with a raw, unfiltered energy. This was not a world in distress, it was a world in exuberance. And the distress signal? It wasn't from a struggling Jedi. It was a song, a call, a vibrant hum from a group of young, independent Force sensitives who lived entirely off the grid, attuned to the planet's pulse, their connection to the Force as wild and free as the wilderness around them. Meeting them was a profound shock to Obi-Wan's carefully ordered Jedi sensibilities. They were children of the wild, unburdened by ancient texts or the stern pronouncements of masters. They spoke of the Force not as an abstract energy field to be controlled and manipulated, but as a living, breathing entity, a force of nature as tangible as the wind through the strange trees. They lived by instinct, by the subtle nudges of the living Force that flowed through every leaf, every creature, every drop of water. Their connection was intuitive, unburdened by dogma, and deeply, beautifully personal. For Obi-Wan, a student of the codified, methodical Jedi ways, this was both disorienting and utterly captivating. He was forced to shed the protective layers of his temple training. His lightsaber, once his most reliable tool, felt clumsy here, almost unnecessary. The Force, as he knew it, felt distant, like a language he was struggling to translate. He had to listen differently, to perceive the world not through the lens of Jedi doctrine, but through the vibrant, chaotic symphony of life unfolding around him. There were trials, certainly, not the grand ceremonial trials of the Jedi Order, but visceral, immediate challenges born from the untamed environment. Navigating treacherous terrain, understanding the subtle cues of predatory creatures, finding sustenance where no familiar provisions existed. Each moment demanded an instinctive response, a gut feeling, a connection to the natural flow of things that his logical, disciplined mind initially resisted. He found himself relying on a different kind of strength, one rooted not in technique, but raw intuition. He learned to track by the whisper of the Force in the foliage, to understand danger by the subtle shift in the planet's hum, to communicate not with words, but with a shared understanding born from the deep well of the living Force. He saw how the young Force sensitives healed with the planet's energy, how they moved in perfect synchronicity with its rhythms. And slowly, tentatively, he began to feel that rhythm himself. This journey became a crucible, burning away the doubt and the rigid expectations that had clung to him. It forced him to confront his fear of inadequacy, his need for external validation. He realized that the Force wasn't just in the temple or in the ancient texts. It was everywhere, within him, around him, a constant flowing river. His connection to it didn't need to be defined by the Order, it simply was. When the time came to leave, to choose his path, Obi-Wan was no longer the uncertain boy who had fled the temple. He was grounded, centered, his internal compass recalibrated. He understood that the Jedi Order offered a vital framework, but that true understanding of the Force and of himself also lay beyond its walls, in the wild, untamed spaces of the universe, and within his own heart. He carried the quiet wisdom of that vibrant world with him, a deep-seated connection to the living force that would inform every decision, every sacrifice, every moment of his extraordinary life. It was this foundational experience, this daring act of self-discovery, that forged the maverick, the compassionate mentor, the resourceful warrior he was destined to become. It's a powerful reminder that sometimes the greatest lessons aren't found in the halls of established wisdom, but in the untamed wilderness of the unknown, where we are forced to shed our preconceptions and truly listen to the quiet, insistent voice of our own intuition and the vibrant pulse of the world around us. What are your thoughts on Obi-Wan's early struggles and the pivotal moments that shaped him? Have you ever had an experience that forced you to reconnect with your own instincts? Share your insights and reflections in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you.